This is Chris Medeos. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris 1-800, subscribe to this channel, Chris Medeos, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I am here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw, February 7th, 2022 review. So here we go, discussing about tonight's Monday Night Raw. Now the first hour will be commercial free, and what happened was the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions Alpha Academy and RK Bro was having their quiz bowl, and it was pretty entertaining and stuff. I mean, it killed like 20 minutes, but it was entertaining and all that. And RK Bro won the quiz bowl. There was some funny moments in it and all that. But yeah, RK Bro won the quiz bowl, and now they get a Raw Tag Team title shot against Alpha Academy. So yeah, that's what happened there. But then all of a sudden, the Street Profits came out to the ring, and it was talking about how they want to smoke and all that, how they want to go against Alpha Academy, and then Chad Gable told the Street Profits, he goes like, well, if y'all want y'all's asses kicked, come on down to the ring. And then that's what happened. Otis came up and attacked Montez Ford from behind, and then the match has then started. So it was the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy in a non-title tag team match. And it was a pretty good match. It went on for like about 9 minutes or 10 minutes, something like that. But it was a pretty good match. At the very ending of this match, we seen Montez Ford jumping over the top rope, hitting that front flip dive onto Otis, taking him out. So it took both of them out. And then at the very ending of this match, Chad Gable was distracted because of that. And then Angelo Dawkins was trying to roll him up for the pin, and Chad Gable kicked out at 2. And then we seen Chad Gable lock on the ankle lock onto Angelo, and then Angelo was trying to roll out of it. But when he was trying to roll out of it, Chad Gable then sat on him and pretty much got the 3 counts. So yeah, Alpha Academy defeated the Street Profits tonight in a tag team match. So yeah, like I said, pretty good tag team match with the tag team match and the quiz bowl and all that. Altogether, I'll give a 2 out of 5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Pretty entertaining match. First match at Kickoff Raw, pretty good one. But yeah, still to come later on tonight, Seth Rollins versus Riddle. Now that match will probably be the match of the night, maybe. And there's multiple more matches later on tonight, like AJ Styles versus Damian Priest and all that. So yeah, all that would be later on tonight on Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, MVP was out there in the ring, and yeah, he was introducing the WWE champion Bobby Lashley, and then Bobby Lashley came out to the ring, and he was talking about the Elimination Chamber match, pretty much sending a message to Brock Lesnar and talking about WrestleMania and all that. So what he was saying was pretty much nobody gonna beat him in the Elimination Chamber match, and how he actually beat Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. And he said, when was the last time that Lesnar actually competed on Raw and all that? That's what Bobby Lashley was saying. But he said he's going to go through Brock Lesnar at the Elimination Chamber, as well as everybody else, and how pretty much Lesnar is entering in his Elimination Chamber and all that. So yeah, that's what Bobby Lashley was saying. And he said how he's going to go main event WrestleMania as well. So yeah, it was a pretty good promo, pretty good segment on Raw, like I said. But yeah, it was pretty good. And after that, we got that little segment with Alexa Bliss. And it looks like they're getting farther and further away from that gimmick that she had, the Fiend gimmick. So yeah, hopefully she can go back to her old character, because that was better. But yeah, so far it looks like they're still making progress of getting her away from that gimmick. But yeah, it was pretty good. But yeah, that segment with Bobby Lashley was good. But still to come later on tonight, AJ Styles versus Damian Priest. and Seth Rollins versus Riddle later on tonight. And I think it's Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory later on tonight as well. So yeah, many more matches still to come. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was the United States Champion Damian Priest versus AJ Styles one-on-one. Now if AJ Styles wins this match, he gets a United States Championship match. But it was a pretty good match between these two guys. For this whole match, I'll give it a 2 out of 5 stars. It was a pretty good match between Styles and Priest. At the very ending of this match, we've seen AJ Styles try to hit the phenomenal forearm one time onto Damian Priest, but Priest punched the shit out of him. And then he runs to the ropes and comes right back, and then he gets hit with a phenomenal forearm right in the middle of the ring. It looked pretty nice. But Styles went for the pin and got the 3 count. So yeah, AJ Styles defeated Damian Priest tonight one-on-one. So it looks like next week Damian Priest will be defending the United States Championship against AJ Styles on Raw next week. So yeah, but yeah, like I said, pretty good match between Priest and Styles. I'll give that match 2 out of 5 stars. But still to come later on tonight, Riddle versus Seth Rollins one-on-one. I think that will be match of the night. And I think Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory as well later on tonight. So yeah, but pretty good match between Priest and Styles, like I said. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, so we had The Miz and Maurice come out. They was hosting Miz TV, and then they introduced their guest, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. So yeah, Miz was pretty much talking crap to Rey and Dominic. But then at the end of that segment, we seen Miz looking at Dominic. He goes like, "Wow, I never realized how tall you was. Taller than Rey. Are you sure you ain't Eddie's son?" And that's what he said. And pretty much Dominic then pushed Miz down. And then that's when we got to the match. It was Miz versus Dominic Mysterio one-on-one. At the very ending of this match, we seen Dominic Mysterio about to hit the 619 onto Miz, but then Maurice trips him up and stuff. When he ran to the ropes, referee seen it, kicked her out from ringside, and while the referee was distracted by getting her away from ringside, Miz ran to the ropes, and pretty much Rey Mysterio done the same thing, tripped up Miz and getting mad and stuff, being distracted by that, and then Dominic Mysterio runs up quickly, rolls him up, and get the 3 count. So yeah, Dominic Mysterio defeated The Miz tonight on Monday Night Raw. Pretty good match, and with the segment, I'll give a 1.5 stars. But yeah, it was pretty good. But yep, still to come later on tonight. Riddle versus Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory later on tonight. And Owens did have a segment with Seth Rollins backstage, and apparently he said if he beats Austin Theory, he will be in the Elimination Chamber match, and Austin Theory will get taken out. So yeah, that's still to come later on tonight. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Bianca Bellaire versus Nikki Ash, one-on-one. And it was a pretty good match. Nikki Ash going after Bianca Belaire's leg at one point in this match. But then at the very ending of this match, we seen Nikki sticking her head out the ring pretty much, and Bianca kicking her head against the ring post. And then Bianca Belaire gets back into the ring, picks her up, and then hits the KOD onto her, and then pins her for the 3 count. So yeah, Bianca Belaire defeated Nikki Ash tonight in a one-on-one match. It was a pretty good match. I'll give that match a 2 out of 5 stars. That's why I'll give it a pretty good match between the two. But yep, that's what happened there. And then there was a thing going on backstage where Reggie and Dana Brooke was hiding from R-Truth, Akira Tozawa, and Tamina. And they was chased after them too, so yeah. And Dana Brooke kissed Reggie on the cheek, and yeah, stuff was going on there, and then they started getting chased again by R-Truth and them. So yeah, pretty funny stuff, I guess. But up next, Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory 1-on-1. If Owens win, he will be in the Elimination Chamber match, and Austin Theory will be kicked out of it. So yeah. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory 1-on-1, and I've been saying the whole time that if Owens won, he'll be in the Elimination Chamber match. My fault. Apparently Owens was saying that stuff, and then pretty much it'll probably be like a maybe or whatever. But it was a pretty good 1-on-1 match between Theory and Owens. At the ending of this match, we seen Owens try to hit the Swanton Bomb onto Austin Theory. He put up his knees, and Owens landed on his knees. And then Theory got out the ring and was doing, like, he jumped back into the ring rolling, and then jump up to hit the drop kick. But as soon as he rolled and about to jump up and hit that drop kick, he gets hit with a super kick, and then gets hit with a stunner and got the pin for the 3 count. So yeah, Kevin Owens defeated Austin Theory tonight 1-on-1. Pretty good match between the two. I'll give that match 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. Pretty good match between Owens and Theory. But still to come later on tonight, Lita will be on Raw next. And I forgot to mention that we have backstage segment between RK Bro, and they was talking, Orton telling Riddle focus on the Elimination Chamber match and focus for the tag team titles. So yeah, that's what Randy Orton said. And then Riddle saying, how about if we win the WWE Championship and the tag team titles, I'll be a double champion. So yeah, that's what was going on backstage with RK Bro. But yeah, up next, Lita will be on Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, so Lita came out and she was talking about how she's been wanting this match. And she's been talking about how she's been wanting this match against Becky Lynch for a long time. And then Becky Lynch came out and she's talking about how the reason why she said no the first time was because she did not want to face her idol and stuff. And pretty much she said that she still didn't want to face her and everything. But, pretty much Lita forced it now or whatever. But yeah, the 1-on-1 match will be happening at Elimination Chamber. And then they kept on talking crap to each other. But then Becky Lynch, like, she was going to leave out the ring, but then turned around, try to attack Lita. Lita then tried to hit the twist of fate onto her, but Becky Lynch brought out of it, beating her down. And then Becky Lynch grabs the Raw Women's Championship, holds it up high, about to leave out the ring, and then comes right back, try to hit that rock bottom onto Lita, but then Lita reverses it, hits the twist of fate onto her, and then climbs at the top turnbuckle, and then hits the moonsault, laying Becky Lynch out. So yeah, pretty good segment between the two. But then we seen Kevin Owens talking to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, saying since he defeated Austin Theory, he can be entered into the Elimination Chamber match, and they said no. So yeah, pretty good segment and stuff. But yeah, still to come later on tonight, Riddle versus Seth Rollins 1-on-1 in the main event. But up next, it'll be Doudrop versus Liv Morgan up next. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was Liv Morgan versus Doudrop 1-on-1. It was a pretty good match between the two. At the very ending of this match, we seen Liv Morgan on the top turnbuckle, about to jump off onto Doudrop, but Doudrop knocked her off the top turnbuckle, with Liv Morgan hitting the back of her head on that turnbuckle, laying her out, and then Doudrop climbed up the second turnbuckle, jumps off with a splash onto Liv Morgan, laying her out, and then got the 1-2-3 onto her. So yeah, Doudrop defeated Liv Morgan tonight on Monday Night Raw. Pretty good match. I'll give that match 1.5 stars. But yeah, it was a pretty good match between Doudrop and Liv Morgan. But up next, it'll be the main event. It'll be Riddle versus Seth Rollins 1-on-1. That match will be up next. But yeah, so far Monday Night Raw has been pretty good. Better than SmackDown last week, actually, and that's surprising. But yeah, pretty good match between Doudrop and Liv Morgan on Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a 1-on-1 match. It was Seth Rollins versus Riddle 1-on-1. It was a pretty good match so far, but at the ending of this match, we seen Kevin Owens interfere, attacking Riddle, And let's disqualification. So Riddle defeated Seth Rollins by DQ. But then Randy Orton comes down saving Riddle. And then it became a tag team match. It was Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, versus Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins in the tag team match. It was a pretty good tag team match. At the very ending of this match, we seen Randy Orton try to hit the RKO onto Seth Rollins, but then he gets super kicked by Kevin Owens, and then he rolls out the ring, and then Riddle comes up, hits a knee to the face on the Owens, knocking him out the ring, and then Seth Rollins, then, he got hit with the knee by Riddle, but then he gets back up, hits the discus forearm onto Riddle, turns around, hits another forearm to Riddle, but this time in the back of the head, and then hits the curb stomp onto him, and then got the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens defeated Riddle and Randy Orton, RK Bro, tonight in the tag team match on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, pretty good match. With that first match, I'll give a 1.5 stars. It was becoming a pretty good match between those two up until disqualification. But the tag team match, I'll give it a 2 out of 5 stars, or I'll give it 2.5 stars. It was a pretty good tag team match between RK Bro and Owens and Rollins. So yeah, for tonight's WWE Monday Night Raw, as a whole, I'll give it 6.5 stars. Pretty good Monday Night Raw. It was better than SmackDown this week, so yeah. But yeah, that has been my WWE Monday Night Raw February 7th, 2022 reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to this channel, Chris Medeiros, and subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris 1-800, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for tomorrow night's NXT reviews. See you guys later. Until then.